For those of you taking Calculus 2, let's look ahead for just a minute. Calculus 2 starts with Chapter 6, and we have finished Chapter 5. It starts with reviewing the area problem, finding the area under a curve from x equal a to x equal b. But you'll do things like now find the area between two curves. You'll do things like what if your area is something like this. You'll look at not only partitioning the x-axis, but you'll look at partitioning the y-axis. So if you don't have y equal f of x, if you have x equal f of y, you'll find areas like that. Then you'll find volumes of solids of revolution. You'll find lengths of curves. That's Chapter 6. And this whole process, you'll use definite integrals, and you'll have to think about a definite integral is the limit of a sum. Okay? Then Chapter 7, we learn a lot of techniques of antiderivatives. You've just learned one antidifferentiation technique, U substitution. That undoes chain rule. But what if you wanted to undo product rule or quotient rule? You'll learn other methods of antidifferentiation. The algebra gets intensive here. Okay? Then you change topics totally about midway through Calculus 2 and talk about sequences and series. And this is useful for computer science, say. How does a calculator compute sine of 1 or natural log of 2? Well, those are transcendental functions, not algebraic functions. But there's a polynomial. Polynomials model these transcendental functions. So we'll model natural log function, sine function, etc. with polynomials. And then you can approximate the value of the function just using a certain number of terms of a polynomial. An infinite polynomial is called an infinite series. Okay? Series and sequences are kind of a fun topic, and it's very applicable. Then there are various and sundry short topics at the end of Cal 2, which blend into Cal 3 if you have time. Cal 3 is just Cal 1 and 2 in in the third dimension. You find slopes of tangent planes to a surface, or you find volume underneath a surface rather than area underneath a curve. Okay, in studying for the final, realize that I've sent everybody an individual communication about your grade. Realize that the final will replace your lowest test grade. Okay, and that wasn't expressed in that communication. But if you've done poorly on one or two tests and well on the others, the final counting in place of your lowest test grade could improve your grade also. The final is closed book, closed notes, no human help. You may have a calculator, of course, but again, as stated on the syllabus, you cannot use a calculator, cannot use any derivative computation capabilities or antiderivative or definite integral calculation abilities on a advanced calculator like a computer algebra system, TI Inspire, or something like that. If you have one of those calculators, you can only use it to graph and to compute, to do arithmetic. Now, I will give you a cheat sheet. Okay? I will put that up in D2L later on today. You cannot produce a note card and use your note card, okay? That's not allowed. But I will prepare for you a cheat sheet that has a reminder of your derivative shortcuts, okay? And therefore your antiderivative shortcuts. So if you have trouble remembering the derivative of tangent, it's secant squared, or etc., that'll be on that sheet. I will put that up in D2L today and provide it for you on the final. I will provide that for you on the final. You don't have to bring it to your final. Enjoyed having you in calculus this semester. Study hard for the final. I'm available to do some Zoom help sessions if you like.